Hey, this is Rich with Rich Film Photography, Sacramento, California. And normally I do real estate editing videos and tutorials, but today I'm going to do what's in my bag for concert photography. And I shoot weddings, sports, professional sports. I shoot Spartan racing. I'm one of the Spartan photographers. I do real estate, I do commercial, I do events and headshots, but I love concert photography. Been shooting it longer than anything. I'm a musician myself, and I happen to be a harmonica player. I'm a professional blues harmonica player, studio player, and tonight I'm shooting the Mark Hummel Blues Harmonica Blowout, which is a harmonica extravaganza shot every year, or it's played every year, and I shoot it every year. So I don't play it, but I shoot it. Anyway, this is going to be in Folsom, California, at the Harris Center for the Arts, which is in Folsom, and it is an awesome, awesome venue, a beautiful venue. I will post some pictures later of the concert. So I'm going to do just some great shots, and it's really nice too because it's good lighting. It is a great stage. I have worked there as a lighting and sound technician, so I can get anywhere I want in this whole place. I can go up in the permanence, I can go all to the sides, I can go behind the stage, side stage, in front of stage, in the wings, and way in the back or mid. So I'm going to park a camera at the mixing board in the middle of the auditorium. I'm going to also cruise around with a couple of cameras and lenses. So I'm going to tell you what I'm using in my bag today. So the most important thing for concert photography is just to realize it's going to be low light, and it's going to be, changing lights because of stages. Now this won't have any pyrotechnics or any really crazy light changes, but I will still probably shoot in manual, and I will also be doing matrix metering or center weighted metering. Okay, so let me go through what's in my bag. Now I personally use the airport security for events, for weddings, for travel, for gigs I have to go on location for, and for doing concerts, because I can also lock it up. I can lock the sides up. I can put it backstage. Nobody's going to hassle with my stuff. And also this venue I know real well, so I'm not even worried about it. But let's get started. First thing I'm going to have is my black rapid strap. So I'm going to have a single strap on today because I've chosen, I'm only going to be walking around with one camera. I'm not going to have two on my sides, although I could. I will bring a double strap too, but I'll probably just carry one because I'm going to have one camera out at the mixing board with a long lens, and I'm going to have one camera on my side. So I've got the black rapid strap, which I love. Then I'm going to have my ThinkTank. This is a drop-down 75, which I can put my whole 70 to 200 with the hood on into it. So I can have that on my side while I am shooting with a 16 to 35 or a 24 to 70. So these will stay in there one at a time, and I'll just pull it out and switch if I need to have it. I want to keep it simple tonight. I've shot this concert for 10 years. I know what I'm doing. I know what to expect, and I just want to keep it light, and I actually want to enjoy the show, which is something I don't always do. So I really recommend ThinkTank. It's called a modular system. It has a great setup, and most of you are familiar with ThinkTank. It's the best in the business, but I just love this belt. I could put on other pouches, but not for tonight. Okay, so we got that. Let's start going through the lenses. First off is my old trusty Nikon 50mm 1.4D. So it's a little bit slower focus, but it's pretty good. And it is 1.4, so I can go super low light. It's just a great lens. I think I got it on Craigslist for about 200 bucks. Been a great part of my kit. And I use this as my secret weapon if the lights are really, really low. Tonight I probably won't be using it, but I have it in case I need it. The next thing will be something I probably won't use again. This is going to be my Nikon 10.5mm DX fisheye. This is a 2.8 lens, and please know that I could put this on full frame in crop mode, but I'll probably put it on my crop sensor body, which is DX, so it will work like a true fisheye. It's going to be, maybe I'll do the stage really wide, maybe from behind the stage with the audience really wide, and I could do it from up above, just the whole auditorium, because this venue is the best. Cool. Anyway, Next lens I've got is the lens I'll probably use most. I'll probably use on my, when I'm walking around, I'll probably have my 16 to 35 Nikon. This is an f4 VR, but don't worry, I can shoot at f4 no problem at this venue. I just pump my ISO up. It's got VR, so I can shoot it way down to a 15th of a second without movement, of course, of the subjects. But again, this is a very slow-moving concert. Blues concerts aren't usually people running around. It's just people sitting there, or standing there, or sometimes sitting, because the old guys tend to sit. Anyway, this show tonight, though, we've got some of the biggest and best in the world. Jason Ritchie on harmonica is a monster powerhouse. Howard Levy is one of the top harmonica players of all time, and just unbelievable. And this show always is a fantastic show. It's a blues show, and they travel all over the country. So if you ever want to check out the best in blues and blues harmonica, Mark Hummel, Harmonica Blues Blowout. Anyway, so the 16 to 35 will go in this pouch, and it will stay on my side when I want to switch from the 70 to 200 on the stage. I will also have with me, I'll probably keep this in my bag, but my bag will be backstage. So either by the mixer or backstage, so I can grab it. This is my Nikon 24 to 70 2.8. Very good lens. I don't use it all the time for concerts, but I use it for weddings, and it's 2.8. It's one of the Holy Trinity, the 14 to 24, 24 to 70, and 70 to 200. Every professional should at least have the 24 to 70 or the 70 to 200, and I choose Nikon. Anyway, so I'll keep this with me if I need it. Let's just start putting these back in. Let's do here. Okay, if I need a flash, and I'm only going to do on-camera flash, I could hold it out here and do the, as Joe McNally does it, and do the infrared sensor. But what I'll probably end up doing is just keeping this and having it on camera. It's a Nikon SB800, an old standby. I only use SB800s for weddings. I use Godox and Flashpoint now, but for concerts and for weddings sometimes, I'll always have an SB800 because honestly, I can depend and trust on these old Nikon flashes even better than the Godox or the Flashpoint or the Adorama flashes. And those are great though. I use them every day for real estate, but you all know that. So anyway, I've got my Nikon SB800, and the other thing I have is a little reflector that is called a Joe Dem Flip. So this basically goes on my flash, and if you're looking for the best darn reflector, it's the cheapest, the lightest weight, and it is just awesome. There you go. That's it. You can see. It's simple. You can fold it back, fold it forward. You can turn your camera sideways, turn it this way. So it is a great thing, and it's like 20 bucks, 25 bucks. Super simple, very, very effective. It's the best in my opinion. And they won't send me anything for free, so I still say it. Anyway, let's go here. I have my 8 N-loop batteries. Always have extra rechargeable batteries there. And here I've got my press pass, but that's for sports, but I would put another press pass on when I get it. But I also have a power bar, so if I get a little hungry, I've got a few of these Cliff Bars, which are really great. And I've got my Hoodman loop, which I have right here, and you can see it right here. I use this because I want to see my screen of my camera. I want to be able to put it up here and look really closely to examine the exposure, because I wear glasses, so I need a little help, but I need this to see the exposure, because the exposure changes a lot on a concert like this, and I also use this in bright sunlight, so I recommend a Hoodman loop a lot. So let's get going with the DSLR cameras. I've got a Nikon D750, which is my choice. It's an awesome camera. I can go to ISO 16,000. I can go shoot. I'll shoot tonight at probably 8,000 to 10,000 ISO to give me the proper shutter speed of like 2/50th, 400th of a second to stop the action, to get everything. And it is awesome camera, and it is just perfect for this kind of a shoot. Nice and light, small. I don't use a battery grip on this camera anymore. I prefer just to have it on my side. So I'll have this hanging from the R-strap, and then I can switch it out with either the 2470 or the 16 to 35. So I've got that, and I've got my Nikon 70-200, which is the older version, but it's VR. It's my old trusted standby. I've had 3 of these. I buy them used now. They're great value for your dollar. I can get them for about 900 to 1,000, perfect condition, and they're awesome, awesome lenses. The newer one has a little newer VR, and actually there's just another new one, but to be honest with you, I'd never think about it because I'm pretty sure they turn the direction of the zoom backwards for some reason, like Canon. Anyway, so if you're a Nikon shooter, VR1 is all you need. Nikon D750, this is an awesome, awesome camera for this particular shoot. Also great for weddings. Okay, now I'm going to pull out my other body and camera. Let me put this hood on here. This is going to be what I use. I'm going to put it right next to the sound mixing board at this venue because I know the sound mixer, I know the venue, and I can leave it set up right there. And it's not a rock concert. I wouldn't recommend this if you did not really have this control over it. Now I can't get this hood on, which is me. Here we go. Anyway, this is a Nikon 300mm 2.8. It's an older Nikon. It's got the silent wave motor, but no VR, which is fine because I rarely handhold it, and I've usually got more than enough light. Or I use it on a monopod, and it's great. And also, I'm always running shutter speeds for sports at 800 to 1,000th of a second at least, so I don't have to worry about VR. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I've got this on a Nikon D500, the newest body, that in the D5. This is the most unbelievable body. It's $2,000 and it is crop censored, and I published photos at ISO 16,000 with this. Unbelievable. So it's going to be sitting way back at the mixing board, and with this 300mm on a crop sensor, it's the same as 450mm on a full frame. So what I'm going to do is have this is a tripod that I always tell people to use for real estate photography, but it's great for this too because it is super stable, super beef, and really will hold this camera really well. Anyway, I'm going to put it on here. I've got my lever, really right stuff lever clamp here. Okay, and I'm going to even bring my geared head with me. Everybody knows I use a geared head. It's great for, I don't use it all the time, great for real estate interiors and to do work like this where I just want to keep this, the stage is not moving, nothing's moving, so I just do minute adjustments. So I can have this right here in landscape orientation, or when I want to switch it, I go to here. It's got a little rotating collar on it, and it's awesome. And I've got my battery grip on this, so it's just what I use for sports, but it's also my long lens for nighttime or for concert photography. It's awesome. And this 300mm lens is a great bang for your buck. 300mm 2.8, and this body, I'm going to be ripping all night, getting nice, tight, full. From the distance I'll be back there, I'll get about just over full body. And I've also got my other cameras if I want to get wider. So I've shot at this venue before. This just happens to work. So it's big and it's heavy, but it is awesome. So I wouldn't trade it for anything. Let's see now. I've got my last secret weapon, which I'm going to use for this show. I don't know how it's going to work out because I've never used it before for concerts, but I've got my Sony A6000 with my Samyang 12mm lens, and I'm going to use this to get like super low. It's got the screen. I'm going to go super low shots looking up at the stage, wide. This is the equivalent of 18mm on a full frame. So 18mm is going to be more than wide enough. If I want to go wider to 16mm, I'll just put my 16 to 35 on my full frame. But this Sony camera, I'm just going to carry it around with me for quick shots of people in this. And I'm going to set it at probably f2 or 2.8. Set it to just before infinity. And I mean, almost everything's going to be in focus. So I'm going to be shooting stuff a little bit far away. I'm not worried. I don't really have to focus this. This is manual, so it's going to be awesome for me, and I'll report back how I liked it, probably in the notes of this video. Okay, let's see here. I've got a few other things. Oh, shoot, breaking my house. Okay, I've got 3 extra Nikon batteries for my Nikon. I'm not even going to bring an extra, I'll bring 1 extra battery for my Sony because I'm not going to use it very much. I've got various covers, caps, and other little things, but really nothing important. So anyway, this is going to be Rich Baum with Rich Baum Photography saying, go out and shoot a concert. Really work on your exposure. I personally find that I want to expose, sometimes I do spot metering for the face, but it's really tricky, and the best thing to do is do your practicing and your rehearsals and just go out and shoot music. Whether you're on a tripod, a monopod, big lens, short lens, or 50 millimeter 1.8 for $200 or $100, go out and shoot some music, go out and try some theater, go out and try all kinds of things, because if you're on this website,